In this lesson on polynomials, we will go through an introduction, a quick introduction that is just to revisit what have we really learned in the past in our earlier grades, alright? So let me write two examples. Let's say one function is 5x squared plus 3x minus 2, and then I write another function g of x is equal to 5x to the power negative 1 plus 3x minus 2, alright? Which one of these two expressions is an example of a polynomial? So we say that this is a polynomial and this is not a polynomial. So remember the definition of polynomial. It is a collection of variables and constants such that the exponent in the polynomial should be a non-negative integer, okay? So that is a keyword here, non-negative integer. It could be 0, it could be 1, 2, but it always has to be positive number or a 0, right? In this case, we see that the power of x is negative 1. Hence, we will say that this is not a polynomial. Now, let me give you one more example of not a polynomial. So if I write x to the power 1/2 plus 3x minus 7. In this case, I will still say it is not a polynomial because here in the exponent part, you are saying it is 1/2, which is not an integer, it is a fraction, right? That is why we say that both of these examples are examples of not polynomials, but this will be defined as a polynomial. Okay, now with that, we also learned about two more things in the past. One of them is called the terms, which is an indication of how many different parts a polynomial has. So in this case, we have three different parts, 5x squared plus 3x and 2. Hence, we will say that this polynomial has three terms. And another terminology we learned is the degree of a polynomial. That is the highest power a polynomial can have. In this case, you define that this is 5x to the power 2. 2 is the highest power in this expression. Hence, we will say that this is a polynomial of degree 2. So with these in mind, let's go take a look at some examples to quickly identify what is the type and what is the degree of a polynomial. So in this table here, we have collected variety of polynomials. Okay, so let's go fill this table that we will identify what is the type and what is the degree. Okay, when we say the type means how many terms a polynomial can have. Okay, so first x squared, we have this polynomial having only one term. So this will be a good example of a monomial. Monomials are the polynomials having only one term, right? Just like that, 7, one term, another monomial, right? Then you have 5x minus 3. It has two terms, two distinct terms. One of them is 5x, one of them is 3, the constant. Every constant is also a term. We learned about that, correct? So this will be a good example of a binomial, right? Now the next one, 4x cubed plus 2x plus 1. It has three distinct terms. So it will be 3 and this will be a trinomial. Next has four terms. We have 4x cubed, 3x squared, 7x, 1. So this we will say that four terms, hence we will just simply label that as a polynomial. It is that all the polynomials having the terms 1, 2 or 3 are given a unique name. One is called the monomial, polynomial with two terms are called binomials, polynomial with three terms are called trinomial. But whenever you have terms greater than or equal to 4, we will simply call them as polynomials. And just like that, you will see that the last one has 5 different unique terms here. So we will label the terms as 5 and this will be just a polynomial. So we remember about identifying the terms by simply counting how many different parts a polynomial has. So let's talk about the degree now. Degree is the highest power a polynomial will have. So x squared, the highest power is 2. So this will be 2 here, the degree, and it will be given a unique name called a quadratic. All right. Then you have 7. In this case, so whenever you have a constant just standing by itself, always imagine that it is something like this. 7 multiplied by some variable with the power of 0, because x to the power 0 is always 1, right? So we will say that this is a polynomial of degree 0 and it is called a constant, right? Then you have the highest power here is 1, in this case 5x. So it will be degree 1, and it will be called a linear polynomial, right? Then you have 4x cube. Highest power here is 3, right? So we will say that it has the degree 3 and it is a cubic. Once again, the x square minus 3x minus 4, the highest power is 2. So I will say it is 2 here and it is a quadratic polynomial. You have 3 here again, so this is cubic, and you have 4 here and it will be called quartic. So you see that it is not difficult at all to identify how do you distinguish by terms or how do you distinguish between polynomials by their degree. Now keep in mind that the type and degree are two different things. Degree only refers to what is the highest power in the exponent, and the type refers to how many different terms a polynomial will have. So if it makes any sense to you, you can always say that terms begins with t, right? And type begins with t. So this is how you can relate with them, right? Just a quick non-mathematical way of remembering things, right? So for this lesson, we will pause here, and the objective was to give you a quick introduction of what have we learned in the past. What do we remember about the terms, the degrees of a polynomial. In the next few tutorials, we will go about how to solve, what are the zeros of a polynomials and so on. Okay, so let's go take a look at that.